we talk about dose and we talk about these substances, especially for people who don't have a lot of experience with it, the first thing I think is important is to not compare it to anything else. You have to treat it like, I don't know what this is. I can't use pharmaceuticals as a way to compare. I can't use alcohol. I can't use tobacco. I can't use coffee. I can't use anything else that's been mind altering in any kind of way to be able to understand this thing. And there's such a variety of potency amongst the different kinds of psychedelics, and then the different varieties of each psychedelic. So mushrooms has now an unbelievable number of strains, and there will be more. Same thing with cannabis. There's an unbelievable number of strains. And then there's also different preparations. And so I think you're right about the importance of dose and really learning with the dose. I've always thought with mushrooms, especially if you don't know the batch and the supply, to always have what would be a micro dose first. Literally have the tiniest amount, test it to see how your body even reacts to it before you go into a visionary experience with something that's completely new. You want to see that physiologically, biologically, you just digest it well, that it's not any kind of, there isn't any extra strain or bacteria in there that could be poisonous in any way. There's nothing, negative. It's clear, it's safe. It's kind of like a test for it. But I agree with you. There's doses that are much more surface level, and they allow you to have a more psychological experience and a kind of a cursory understanding of what that is. And then there are ones that where you're in and out, but it's fully in, and then it's, a little bit normal, and then it's fully in. And then there are doses that's just in. And I think people need to build up to that, because it's another state of consciousness to be in. It's like a different waking state. It's a different lucid awareness form of consciousness. And you need to have already learned, I think, some navigation skills. Like a navigation skill could be like, I get scared. How do I calm down? I see something dark. How do I go to my heart and find the light again? I encounter something with somebody else who's there, who moves to a state of fear, and I feel like it's now encroaching upon me, and I don't feel comfortable in a place to be able to handle that. What do I do? How do I find my own ground in my own place? I think we can learn those basic skills on the lower doses so that we actually have them available to us when we then experience a higher dose and start to tap in with things that are much more profound. And I think taking it slow is really important, that we understand that this is something that we learn. It's not something that we just go and do. And I fundamentally would not treat any of the sacred plants or visionary plants as a drug experience. I would not think I'm going in and taking a drug. I would think I'm going in and having an experience that's incredibly profound, like you mentioned, and wanting to ensure my safety and a positive outcome associated with that experience. And there are enough negative stories out there about what some people have gone through to understand the importance of it. But I think that that's also part of mindset, to get out of the Western drug culture in its entirety, get out of the recreational drug culture and get into the opportunity of a sacred experience and understanding the importance of what that sacred experience could be. And I really like how you describe how you set up the space to really minimize any kind of variable that would be disruptive to whatever comes up for you, while having that experience and treating it with a tremendous level of focus.